You guys sent in some really, really interesting stuff about Daredevil.
Yeah, a lot to unpack here.
It seems like a lot of you are, well, maybe a little obsessed with how this new Disney Plus show, Daredevil, Born Again, is going to, like, bridge the gap
Right.
between that awesome Netflix series we all loved and the MCU.
The big MCU. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty wild to think about a show existing in both of those worlds. I mean,
It is unusual, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't see that too often. And it's not just Daredevil himself hopping over to the MCU, you know.
well, you're talking about the supporting cast.
Exactly.
That's huge. I mean,
It's huge.
Elden Henson coming back as Foggy Nelson,
Yeah.
and Deborah Ann Wool as Karen Page. That's huge.
That is huge.
I mean, they're not just sidekicks, right? They're
and essential.
essential. They're what makes Daredevil Daredevil.
Completely agree. They're the heart of the show. They really ground him, I think.
Yeah, and you know what? It really makes you think about how dedicated the original actors are. They
Absolutely.
want to give us closure, after that crazy cancellation. I was reading this article you sent in.
Yeah,
And, Elden Henson was talking about how happy he was to play Foggy again, especially because he didn't even know the show was ending when it did.
Oh, wow.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, talk about being blindsided.
I know. I mean, it makes sense why he's so excited to be back.
Of course.
It must have felt like unfinished business for him.
Yeah.
That whole cancellation thing.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of how a lot of the fans felt too, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I was one of them. I think everyone felt a bit robbed.
Robbed, yeah.
Yeah.
Like we needed more.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you get invested in these characters and the stories, and then suddenly,
Boom, it's over.
yeah, and you're
Yeah.
just left hanging.
It makes you wonder, though, do you think that whole experience, like the actors and the fans all feeling that sense of, wait, what? Could that actually add something to the new series?
Oh, I think so, for sure. There's this shared history now, this feeling that we're all in this together, actors, fans, everyone. It's like, we all got cut off, and now...
We get a second chance.
Exactly. A second chance.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and speaking of second chances, the article also mentioned how Charlie Cox himself talked about how important Foggy and Karen are to the show. He said it wouldn't feel right without them.
Yeah, he's right. It's like they're family.
Hmm.
You can't have Daredevil without Foggy and Karen. They're the heart of it all. But then I came across this other comment from Charlie Cox that really got me thinking. Apparently the script for Born Again says something like, the years have been kind to these characters. And he kind of questioned that. Yeah, because come on, they've been through so much. It makes you wonder, what does doing well even look like for them after everything they've endured? I mean, can they ever really escape their past?
Yeah, that's a really good point. It's like, how do you just bounce back from all that?
Exactly.
It'll be really interesting to see how they handle that, how they portray that in the new show.
Yeah.
I think that's where this whole MCU thing really comes into play. I mean, we know that Daredevil, Born Again, is set in the MCU.
Right.
But it's also supposed to, continue the story from the Netflix series.
Right. So how do you balance those two things?
Exactly. And that brings up a whole bunch of questions about tone. Like, will we be seeing, I don't know, maybe a slightly less intense Daredevil?
A more lighthearted Daredevil,
Yeah.
cracking jokes while he's fighting bad guys.
Well, maybe not that lighthearted, but the MCU has a certain style. It's very action-packed, a little quippy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Lots of humor.
Yeah.
So how do you blend that with the grittier, more street-level feel of the Netflix show?
Without alienating the fans of either one. It's tough.
Yeah, it's a tough balance. It's a challenge a lot of comic book adaptations have faced. I mean, think about, the Christopher Nolan Batman films.
Yeah.
And then, the more recent Justice League movie. Both based on DC Comics, but they feel like completely different universes.
Totally different vibes.
Exactly.
So how do you bring Daredevil into the MCU without losing what made him so unique in the first place?
Yeah.
Will they even acknowledge what happened in the Netflix series? Will they, talk about it directly?
Yeah, I wonder if they'll reference the Defenders, or what about the Hand?
Ooh, good point.
Yeah.
Or maybe it'll be more subtle, like little hints and Easter eggs for the fans who know where he's been. Oh, and speaking of the MCU, do you think we'll see other MCU characters show up in Hell's Kitchen?
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, there's already a precedent for that. Hawkeye introduced Maya Lopez,
Oh, yeah.
FO, and she's got that connection with Kingpin. And of course, Kingpin's Daredevil's arch nemesis.
Right. I can totally see their paths crossing again and Born Again.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Wow. If we connect all of this is getting complicated.
It's a big web, that's for sure.
There's so many possibilities here. We haven't even seen the show yet.
I know. So much to think about before March 5th.
March 5th is right around the corner, really.
It is. It's exciting.
Yeah, it is. And a little nerve-wracking, too, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a unique situation. It's like
Yeah.
we're getting these characters back that we love,
Yeah.
but we're also stepping into the unknown.
Absolutely.
Kind of a crazy mix of nostalgia and, like, pure anticipation.
It really is. I mean, we want them to do the characters justice, you know?
Right. Stay true to the original.
But at the same time, you want to see them evolve, see how they fit into this bigger world.
It's like opening a new chapter in a book you thought was finished.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, where do we go from here? What's next? So, for everyone listening out there, what are you most looking forward to in Daredevil? Bored again? Are you hoping for, like, a faithful continuation of that gritty Netflix series? Or are you more excited to see how the MCU might change things up? This deep dive is giving you a lot to think about.
A lot to chew on.
A lot to chew on.
For sure.
So until next time, keep those theories coming.
Keep diving deep.
Yeah, keep diving deep. We'll see you guys soon.
See you later.
Bye.